Hey, my name is Bjorn Jepsen and I am the founder of WeFocus. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey to creating increased corporate mental health. I haven't always worked in this mental health business. My first company was actually a recruitment firm where I was searching candidates for larger organizations, primarily in the energy sector. And it was in this case where I got, in all modesty, quite busy. And at some point, although my motivation was really high, I simply couldn't keep focused for long enough time. So I started researching on, can we actually train our brain to become more focused over a longer period of time? And it was at this moment I met our current chief psychologist, Jens Hardy Sørensen, and the rest is kind of history you can get at another stage. But in this video, I really want to present you to the number one tool when it comes to implementing corporate mental health. And in the headlines, it's quite easy because it's quite simple. You need to implement more pauses in our everyday life, because in the modern way that we work, we are constantly getting information through notification, emails and text and so on and so forth. And it's simply stealing away our presence to our family, our presence to the task that we have at hand. And the easiest way to overcome this is to implement some breaks or some pauses. But to be fairly honest, and the simplest thing that we can actually do is to get leaders and managers to acknowledge that taking some pauses is a good thing, and they can actually also acknowledge that they want to do it in their everyday life. But as soon as they leave the door and go out after a workshop or a one-to-one conversation, they simply forget, or they don't have the courage to do it, because some of them also get hit by a feeling of, this is a bit strange that I'm sitting in an open office and I have to stare out the window for 2 or 3 minutes. So they really don't get it done, quite simply. That's why over time we have developed what we call the constructive pause. And let me just quickly run you through how it works, and then afterwards how I use it, because it is a brilliant tool to be using when doing a workshop for a lot of people. Okay, first of all, so it's quite simple. All you need is a piece of paper, a pencil, and preferably a timer. And then the assignment that you have to do, you can try it out later after this video. You simply have to sit down for 3 minutes and then just accept the thoughts that are coming to your mind, because then you put them down on paper quite easily, and it's all right regardless of what thoughts is popping into your mind. So the first thought can be, remember to buy dog food when you're done when you're leaving from work. Or the other thought can be, write an email to Susanna, or call Peter, or whatever it is. The important thing is this, that you just note it down for each thought that's popping into your mind. This gives you a lot of benefits. First of all, you will get the insights to what's actually top of mind for you at the given moment, and you will also train your impulse control. So instead of reaching out and doing the first thing that pops into your mind, it could be writing an email to Susanne, and then you would start writing the email. You simply note this stuff down and you just accept that there keeps on coming thoughts. And then you just afterwards, when you're done, you have a list of what's top of mind for you right now. And it's really important that you understand that it's not a to-do list. So it's not that you have to execute on everything, but you actually have an overview of what your brain is using energy to suppress because you're doing another task. And then after that, then you can reflect on, okay, now I want to do these tasks and the other stuff can wait. And sometimes it can actually be quite hilarious what kind of thoughts that pops into your mind. Okay, so this is the tool. This is what we call the constructive pause. It's a great tool. We use it in a variety of ways. First of all, we want the single employees to do it throughout their day, preferably 1 or 2 times each day. But we also use it as a tool when we do workshops. And this is where it's quite brilliant in a number of ways, because it really unlocks how we understand, how we process knowledge in the present. Okay, so if I do a workshop, then usually I push on with a lot of knowledge. I educate them in the brain and how we are using, how we are processing knowledge in 2 systems, system 1 or system 2. It's also called fast and slow thinking. This really gives a good reflection on how we process knowledge. Then I say, okay, the best thing that you can do for your brain in a busy everyday life, not only when it comes to well-being, mental health, but also when it comes to performance, is to take a break. And then I just let them have 30 seconds of a break. And then this gives them some sort of reflections on, okay, so what is this? This was a little bit strange. And then I introduce them to the constructive pause, because then they actually get a tool where they need to write down. And this gives an open dialogue. So what was top of mind for you and what was top of mind for me? And then we have a dialogue. Okay, so this is actually the stuff that's going on in our heads right now. And then we can act from there. Okay, and then I wait for maybe 2 hours later down in the workshop. Then I do one more constructive pause, because then they get an insight to the difference that we have. So what kind of thoughts do we have when we do it the first, just after we start the workshop, and what kind of thoughts do they have when we have done it over a period of time? And the difference between these two are quite spectacular, because in the first one, it's all the small things like remember to get dog food, write an email to Susanne, all these stuff, where is my car parked, whatever it can be. And then after a while, then we do it again, and then the thoughts are quite different, because then it becomes the thoughts of where are we going with the strategy and what should we take into consideration when it comes to higher things than just these low practical stuff that we can act on. And this shows exactly the difference between working in system 1 and system 2. And this gives each employee a reflection upon, okay, so how should I actually use my mind? How should I execute on my knowledge and experience? Okay, so that was the quick introduction to the constructive pause. I really hope that you are going to use it in your next workshop. Please let me know if you have any comments or any feedback on this, if you think this could work in your business. I'm so happy that you followed along to the very end of this video. I hope you will have a really great day. See you soon. Bye.